Hello there, thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and boy do I have an early rock and roll / R&B concert poster here to show you from 1956. And we know it's from 56 even though it's been trimmed severely because it says across the top, as you can see, Rhythm and Blues of 1956. But it's not like I'm unfamiliar with the poster before this came in, but I grabbed it anyway because it is the original piece of cardboard from the larger poster, which was once 22 by 28 inches with a white border all the way around, and of course the venue information up at the top. Matter of fact, I've got a photo here of this exact poster as it was in its complete original form, and it's from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And as you can see, it's April 25, and the year being 1956 means this was very much a spring 1956 concert poster. And so, you know, it's obviously one wishes their posters to be intact, fully intact, and the venue information up here in the top, or at least fully intact and blank white. But I sort of nicknamed this a trunk. You know, it's sort of missing its arms and its legs and even its head. A bit of an exaggeration, of course, but I just call this a trunk of an old poster, and certainly not bound for the trash bin. It looks fabulous thumbtacked up on the wall. So it's, or of course one could frame it in pretty much a square fashion. Just it still invokes all the nostalgic history and everything. I just don't know which gig. Well, of course, actually I do know it was used for a gig down in Texas. I just don't know what the date was. So dating-wise, I'll go by the April 25 of the one picture I do have of one that was actually used. If you know of one that has the date, please send me a picture or the information so I know exactly. This tour might have gone from March to May. It might have been just the month of April. I'm just not really sure. But anyway, it's a sweet piece of cardboard, that's for sure. It's a great conversation piece, great colors, a real slice of rock and roll when the format was so young. As a matter of fact, the April 1956, late April, the Elvis Presley tsunami, if you will, was just arriving in America's shores, and Heartbreak Hotel was out and racing up the charts, and by mid-May would take everything over, and Elvis would change the world and of course stay on the top of the charts for years. So this is just before the Heartbreak Hotel tsunami, you know, hit the shores and changed everything. So in the meanwhile, we've got a few R&B stars that are also crossover rock and roll stars, and it's really fun to see. They're, of course, a very famous name. In the top left corner, very dominant, is our buddy Fats Domino. And interestingly, right next to Fats there, it says Bo Weevil. And, you know, not the most sexy of Fats Domino's hits from his career. You know, Blueberry Hill or something would have been perhaps a little more fun to have on there. But still, Bo Weevil was significant for a couple of things. It was his 17th consecutive top 10 R&B hit, so that's pretty darn great chart action. But more importantly, his second pop chart hit, snuck in at just into the top 40 pop at number 35. But it showed that Fats Domino and R&B in general was making some real strides into the pop chart, which of course would eventually really just merge real nicely with all the rock and roll stuff and become one, naturally. So right there at the top, along with Fats Domino, are the Clovers, and there you have their picture and so forth, and the record Devil or Angel, which actually most baby boomers know that from Bobby V's top 10 version a few years later in 1960. Unlike Fats Domino, oh, you know what's really funny about Devil or Angel, though? This version by the Clovers, what a coincidence. Also their current hit single and 17th straight top 10 R&B. So both Fats and the Clovers have their current hit singles on there, and they're both their 17th consecutive top 10 R&B hit. That's just amazing. And I was going to say, unlike Fats Domino, the Clovers never crossed over, barely crossed over, and didn't make any dents on the pop charts. So boomers know them, you know, perhaps by the earliest version of Love Potion number 9. Or perhaps, you know, the original version of Devil Angel, something like that. But they just never had the pop chart action that Antoine Fats Domino achieved. Then, right down the center of the poster, we've got Ruth Brown. Look at that great picture of Ruth. I'll get it so her name is in there. Nice, big, tall picture of Miss Rhythm. That, in quotes, of course, is not a song title, that's her nickname. But the song title that is shown there is I Want to Do More, which actually on the record said I Want to Do More. They shortened it from 5 words to 4. That's kind of funny. And you know how close this came to being an eerie hat trick? That is Ruth Brown's current hit, I Want to Do More, and 16th consecutive top 10 R&B hit. Oh man, so you have 17, 17, and for Ruth, 16. So close to having, you know, 3 of the exact same track records here. But, you know, that's okay. A month later, she would get, yes, her 17th consecutive top 10 R&B hit with Sweet Baby of Mine. So, you know, it's all right there. You know, it's all there. So then we've got, right opposite of Ruth, we've got the Cadillacs with Speedo. See them there, there's a picture and everything. And there's actually not a hyphen in the song. They added that for the poster. That was a top 5 R&B hit for those guys, and that was about all they had. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to play a second of that one for you from the Cadillacs. Yeah, we've heard that one, right, Speedo? It's tempting to just, you know, us music lovers, we just want to let it play. But anyway, I thought that'd be fun. And then you've got somebody down here below the Cadillacs in a very unfamiliar place. Down Billed. Yeah, look at that. Little Richard. Wow. Tutti Frutti's the song title given. It went to #2 R&B for him. And just in a few weeks after April 25th, in 6 weeks or so, Long Tall Sally would hit the charts and go to #1 for 2 months. And in that case, Richard, of course, moved right up the concert posters, that's for sure. Then, down in the lower left-hand corner, you've got the Turbans. See that? They had, maybe I should shift myself a little bit here to make sure I get them in the poster. There they are, with turbans on, naturally. And they had a top 5 R&B hit the year before, but sorry to say that Sister Suki was not a hit for them, just a stiff. And then moving down, look at that, Little Willie John. Holy cats, 18 years old at the time, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member. And this record, Need Your Love So Bad, was his current hit. See that? It was his second R&B charter, and it went to ended at the top 5, just like his first one. So he was really poised for big takeoff, because next month, in May of '56, Fever would hit the charts, and that would go to #1 for a month and be, of course, his signature song, an extremely famous song. Then you've got Choker Campbell, a well-known band leader we see on all kinds of posters there in the bottom center. And then over here, interestingly, you've got a small cluster of 3 artists. The Sweethearts, I couldn't find anything about. Al Jackson and his Fat Men Quartet, excuse me. That's him pictured, I believe. But likewise, I couldn't find much of a trace at all of him. And then finally, bottom billed there is Joe Medlin, and he barely registered a pulse as well. So that's often the way it goes. At the bottom of these posters, some wannabes who didn't make it and stuff. But really sweet, lovely boxing-style globe posters in Baltimore printed this and made it. Most of a 1956 original R&B concert poster that's just teeming with you know, great colors and great artists and song titles and everything. So just a beauty. So a pleasure to show it to you. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again soon. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.